Hello. I'm just gonna give people a second to hop on. I was just eating this delicious dinner with spaghetti squash with like this black bean guacamole on top of it. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay, well, for those of you who are gonna be catching the recording, we're just gonna get started. If you're watching, I'm pretty sure I have food in my teeth. If you're watching the recording of this, feel free to ask questions. I'll come back and answer them. But we're going to just go through today a little bit about hormones, the endocrine system, how that works, some of the most important glands in our body, different hormones in the body, and different chemicals and toxins that can affect those hormones, as well as some signs and symptoms of hormone imbalance and what you can do with doTERRA and outside of doTERRA to help address hormone imbalance. So here we go. So hormones. Each hormone is a chemical messenger that is produced by one or many glands in the endocrine system. These chemical messengers signal responses to major body functions. Hold on one second. Let me get this. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm back. Okay. So these chemical messengers signal responses to major body functions, simple needs such as hunger, to complex systems such as reproduction and emotional health and wellness. So they're very important in many facets in our body, and there are 50 different hormones in the human body. We're going to narrow it down and really just kind of focus on women's health. But when you look at the hormone system, or the endocrine system, I don't know if I'm saying the hormone system, you have a lot of different glands in the body. Some of the ones that we know are like the hypothalamus, parathyroid, thymus, pancreas, thyroid, adrenals, pituitary glands, pineal gland, ovaries, testes. These all do things related to hormone excretion, and they adjust different levels in our body for temperature, sleep, hunger, immunity, reproduction. Your pituitary is kind of like your master gland. It's up in your brain, and it kind of triggers all the other glands to release hormones. So this is a very intricate system, and it's very complex, but we're going to kind of just keep it super simple for today. And let's talk about some of the most important hormones when we talk about women's health. So estrogen plays an important role in puberty. It prepares female organs for pregnancy, and it regulates the menstrual cycles. It has an effect also on our cholesterol level, as well as protecting our bone health. So estrogen levels, when they're high, can cause things like weight gain, light or heavy bleeding, severe PMS, fibroids, fatigue, and extremely low sex drive. When estrogen is low, you can have little to no menstruation. You can deal with hot flashes. You can have trouble sleeping. Again, a low sex drive, even dry skin. So this hormone, estrogen, affects a lot of things in our lives, but it is very important in puberty and pregnancy. And then you have progesterone. It's a secondary female hormone that regulates menstruation and plays a role in fertility and pregnancy. When progesterone levels are off, it can lead to abnormal bleeding, irregular or missed periods, spotting or abdominal pain during pregnancy, as well as frequent miscarriages. So progesterone and estrogen actually work together in this thing where one's up, one's down, and they do this fine little dance, and it's very regulated and very systematic, and it's what kind of helps women through their cycle. So those are two important things to be in balance. And then you have testosterone. It's the main sex hormone in men, and it triggers puberty, increases bone density, facial hair growth, muscle growth, and strength. Cortisol is super important when we're talking about hormone health. That is the stress hormone. So hormones this hormone is released in response to stress from your adrenal glands, and high levels of cortisol can affect sleep, hunger, glucose regulation, weight gain, and metabolism. So when cortisol is in your system at all times, you're in fight or flight at all times. So you think about that sensation when you like almost get in an accident, or a deer runs in front of your car, or your kid almost falls, and your heart races, you get sweaty palms, you're breathing fast, you kind of get that like I'm ready to take care of business sensation, right? So that is your cortisol levels getting really high. So what happens there when your cortisol levels are high like that is your body is in like self-preservation mode. So it's in survival. So it's going to hold on to fat. It's going to specifically hold on to fat around the waist and the like butt thigh area, which is like where all of us women are like, oh my God, I can't lose weight there. Well, it's probably because you're stressed all the time and you're keeping cortisol in your system all the time. So you can't lose that weight, right? And then when it's in your system, you have trouble sleeping, you can either go one of two ways. Like you always are eating, like you're a stress eater, or you're a stress not eater, right? So neither are good, but you don't want it. That can really affect your system. And then, yeah, it can cause issues with your metabolism and weight gain and things, like I said. So we need to get our body out of that fight or flight response. We need to get out of those high cortisol levels, and we need to get back into our rest and relaxation system, which is our parasympathetic nervous system. That rest and digest, that is going to help kind of bring us back down. So we need to spend more time in that parasympathetic system than in our sympathetic, releasing that cortisol. Then you have melatonin. This is your sleep hormone. You might have heard of people taking melatonin for sleep. Melatonin is something that's naturally produced in our bodies. As we age, the production actually does decrease, but levels change throughout the day, and at night levels should increase, triggering to the sleep response, right? So they'll jump up so we can sleep. A key thing when you listen to sleep, if you listen to my podcast, Natural Wellness Tips is the podcast. You can find it on Spotify or iTunes. I'm not just giving myself a shameless plug. I did like a whole episode on this. So if you listen to the podcast, I think it was 2 episodes ago, was on sleep and sleep hygiene and sleep routine. There's specific things about following our circadian rhythm, finding out when you sleep best and sleeping during those time frames. They're really important for you. So that's going to help your body regulate that melatonin level, having a regular sleep routine. Also having a good amount of time in like real light, not artificial light. So when hormones are in proper balance, the body will thrive, but disturbances, even small ones, can cause life-altering symptoms. So some signs of hormonal imbalance are irritability, weight gain, lower libido, allergies, urinary tract infections, skin wrinkling, anxiety, water retention, hot flashes, headaches, bone loss and aches, hair loss, facial hair, depression, poor sleep patterns, vaginal dryness, vaginal infections, irregular, uncomfortable periods, over breast stimulation, excessive fat deposits on the thighs and buttocks. So all of these things can be signs of hormonal imbalance. So I know you're probably sitting there going like, yep, for like a lot of them, right? So just start to think about what could be off with your hormones, and we'll talk about what you can do to support it. So as you guys are listening, please feel free to ask any questions. Just type them. Let me know what I can do, what I can clarify for you. So I'm going to go into some of doTERRA's products. I'm going to start specifically with the phytoestrogen, the women's health line, which is 3 components: phytoestrogen, Clary Calm, and the bone nutrient complex. So phytoestrogen is, doTERRA produces an herbal complex to help balance and affect xenoestrogens in our environment. So what in the world is a xenoestrogen? Okay, so estrogens, or artificial estrogens, or estrogens from other animals that we are ingesting, and I say that as a meat eater, so I'm no judgment here, but we are getting estrogens or xenoestrogens from everything in our body. You can actually, when you look at, well, even before I go into that, let's talk quickly about some of the chemicals. I totally skipped this part and I didn't mean to. So we'll talk about some of the chemicals that are found in our cleaning products and personal care items and things that can affect our hormones, and it's specifically like xenoestrogens and things like that. So there are toxins that are hard to avoid, but we're going to focus on some of the ones that you can control, some of the ones that you can change. Have you guys ever heard of the EWG Environmental Working Group? It's EWG Think Dirty is the app. It's a cool free app you can go to that you can actually scan your beauty care. And if it's in the system, it'll give you a full reading. If it's not in the system, like doTERRA is not in the system, but you can plug in the individual ingredients, and then you can figure out what the EWG rating is. So the lower the rating, the better it is for you, and the higher the rating, the more unhealthy it is for you. It'll show you if it causes birth defects, if it causes cancer, if it causes like allergies or hormonal disruptions and things. So pretty cool to be able to see what is in your products. But I recommend going there. You can even Google EWG 12, Toxic 12, and you can find out their specific Toxic 12, but I want to share 6 of them with you. So the first one is BPA, bisphenol A, is a chemical found in many products, including canned foods, plastics, dental sealants, and is similar in structure to the hormone estrogen. So when you have high levels of BPA in your system, your body is checking it as estrogen or a xenoestrogen, an unfamiliar estrogen, but it's still triggering the system, and it can have effects on your menstruation, your fertility. It can even cause miscarriages, obesity. So you'll hear, you know, the kind of like water bottles or plastics and things like BPA free, which is awesome, but just try to stick to glass or stainless steel as much as you can. Like stainless steel water bottles are great. You can get glass Tupperware at Costco for like 20, 25 bucks. There's so many good things that you can do to avoid BPA. So you can't avoid it fully because it is going to be in things that you're around. But one thing you can do is stop using antibacterial gels and soaps. When you use those products, they open your pores more, and they actually make it so your body can absorb the BPA more easily, which is kind of scary. So you don't want that. So then you have dioxins, and they're found in food and accumulate in animal fatty tissue. According to the World Health Organization, they say that dioxins are found in animal fatty tissue, and they've been linked to lower sperm count and other reproductive side effects. So definitely trying to figure out how you can avoid those. So being really cautious of what quality meat you're buying. Butcher Box is a great option for getting grass-fed organic meats delivered to your home. So you can avoid that a little bit. Then you have atrazine, an herbicide widely used on the majority of corn crops in the United States, and consequently it's pervasive in our water, in our drinking water. So it's contaminated in our drinking water from just being used on the plants. So it's been linked to breast tumors, delayed puberty, prostate inflammation in animals, and some research has linked it to prostate cancer in people. And you can avoid it by buying organic produce and drinking filtered water. So that's not too hard to do. Most areas have a water store around. Don't go just buy jugs of water at the grocery store. You're gonna waste so much money and so much plastic. Just get some reusable jugs and go to your local water store. Even like CVS's and things lately, like all around, are popping up with like the 25 cents a gallon. Just stick it under there, fill it up. I always fill up a couple gallons at a time. I usually have like 6 or more, and then I have water for a couple days, and then I can go get more. And then we have the next one is I am like gonna butcher this name. Phthalates. Phthalates? I don't know. I'm gonna butcher that one. But it's chemical found in plastic food containers, children's toys, and plastic wrap made from PVC. Anything that is labeled with fragrance or emits fragrance needs to be avoided. So these are things like plugins, Febreze, any fragrance and cleaning products that you're using. These are chemical disruptors for the reproductive system. They cause birth defects. Specifically in the male reproductive system, they can lead to obesity, diabetes, and thyroid irregularities. So avoiding plastic food containers, avoiding plastic wrap if you can, and kind of sticking to just more reusable things, but also most importantly, avoiding things with fragrance. So do your hand soap and things. have fragrance. Oh, Megan, I'm glad that you like that too. I just found out about that. I'm super pumped. I'm loving it. Megan says Butcher Box is amazing, great quality. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pumped about it. So yeah, avoiding those things with fragrances. If you have fragrances in your house, just go throw them away. Just seriously, before you clean your house again, anything, just throw them in the garbage. You don't need them. You don't want them. And then perchlorate, I screw up these chemical names, which is a component of rocket fuel. So where do we get our daily dose of rocket fuel? Only in our produce and milk. And it's pretty much impossible to avoid per the EWG. When there are too many of it's PERCHLORATE in your body, it disrupts the thyroid, which produces metabolic hormones in adults and is critical for proper brain and organ development in infants and young children. Consuming moderate amounts of iodized salt can actually help lower these in your system, so that's good. And then you'll have glycol ethers, a solvent used in paints, cleaning products, brake fluids, and cosmetics. Does it seem weird that we'd have the same ingredients in brake fluid that we're putting on our face? To me, it really does. Yes, Christine, I'm live now. So we're putting these chemicals on our largest organs. So basically what I'm saying is really be careful with the skincare items you're using. If you're buying them from CVS or Rite Aid, really scan them with EWG before you buy them. You would be surprised. I personally only use doTERRA's skincare, body soap, body lotion, hair, shampoo, conditioner, and then I use Beauty Counter for my makeup. So I'm very particular in what I use, and I just make sure that I'm not putting any chemicals or anything on my system, so or in my system that I can avoid, right? So European Union says that some of these chemicals may damage fertility or the unborn child. Look for the products that have EGBE or DEGME and avoid those as well. And again, just check out EWG's Dirty Dozen. You can find that and figure out what you should be removing in your home, kind of what do you have going on there. So, okay. Let me see. Keep the questions coming. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. So now we're going to go into the women's health side. So you have, we were talking quickly about xenoestrogens, right? So xenoestrogens are things that are found through those chemicals we're using and through like the meats and things that we're eating in our system. So we just need to be careful to avoid as much of that as possible, but also we need something. So xenoestrogens are like estrogens, but on steroids in your system. So they work like really hard and they will like overstimulate your body. It's crazy what they can do. It's not good. They're endocrine disruptors that are linked to breast cancer, prostate cancer, endometriosis, bone issues, thyroid cancer, and other chronic diseases. And they're found in things like canned foods, plastic, just general pollution, farmed fish, tap water, pesticides, factory farmed animals, soy and food, beauty products, perfume, colognes, and synthetic medications. So again, it's kind of like things that are in a lot of people's everyday life, but just starting to think about where you can avoid that. Can you buy higher quality produce and meat? Can you avoid soy in your foods? Can you get better quality beauty products, personal care items? Can you use essential oils instead of a perfume or a cologne? These are all going to be things. Can you get filtered water? They're going to be things that are going to really make a difference for you. When you go to the fish counter, can you ensure that you're buying not the farmed fish, but you're buying the fresh caught fish, right? It's usually not much of a price difference, and it's so much better for you. So those are the things you want to think about. So phytoestrogen is something that you can take to actually fight the effects of these xenoestrogens in our system. It's made from plant-based estrogens, which are very similar to human estrogens, and it contains non-GMO soy, flax, pomegranate extract. So you can take it daily for best results. Some of the other benefits of phytoestrogen complex are to balance and support normal hormone levels, gently support a woman through her menstrual cycle, help diminish the normal symptoms of menopause, such as hot flashes and night sweats, help to support healthy bone, heart, and breast tissue, and formulated to provide powerful antioxidant support. So specifically what I've helped people use phytoestrogen for is transitions. So people that are coming off of birth control, people that are trying to conceive and having trouble conceiving, people that are going through puberty, people that are going through menopause or perimenopause, right? Those are definitely the people that should be using phytoestrogen. If you are an average person that has issues with their period, you get really bad PMS, really bad cramps, things like that, then definitely start taking phytoestrogen every day. It's so good. It will definitely help you. Then you have Clary Calm. Clary Calm is a blend of essential oils that it complements phytoestrogen, but it assists with some of the same needs. So you apply it during your menstrual cycle over the abdomen, ankles, and inside of the forearm to experience a calming and soothing effect. During moments of those hot flashes and things, you can use that on the inside of the wrist, back of the neck. That can help. Diffuse for a calming aroma to help soothe heightened emotions. It's really just specifically pulled together with amazing ingredients like clary sage, lavender, bergamot, Roman chamomile, cedarwood, ylang ylang, geranium, fennel seed, carrot seed, palmarosa, and vitex. All good to just help support healthy hormones and bring your body back to homeostasis or balance. Just bring your body back to a healthy place. You can use it every day if you like, but my one friend joked that she went to the dentist and forgot her oils and only had Clary Calm, and she put that on and it still calmed her down. So it's good for other things than PMS, but it's also really good for PMS. Then you have the Lifetime Bone Health Bone Nutrient Complex. So progesterone is another hormone our body uses to communicate, scan, and adjust the body's needs. The progesterone estrogen levels fluctuate from moment to moment. When the fluctuation levels are not regular, we have an imbalance situation. This imbalance can be caused by can cause many ailments, and one common ailment caused by this imbalance is calcium deficiency. So calcium deficiency can lead to bone density issues or to osteoporosis. When estrogen levels in our body are high, our body is not in calcium absorbing mode. Inversely, when the progesterone levels are high, our body has more of an ability to absorb calcium to assist in bone density. The normal fluctuation of these two hormones is natural and healthy. However, imbalances arise when we have xenoestrogens in our bodies. And we talked about how they're, chemically altered estrogens that we're getting. We need to get rid of those from our system to just help balance the estrogen and progesterone level. And then if our estrogen levels remain high on a regular basis, we'll have bone density issues as we grow older. So we need to make sure we're avoiding that, but we also need to make sure that we're giving our body what it needs. So this supplement has 1,000 milligrams of calcium, 400 milligrams of magnesium, vitamin D2 and D3. And it is all in there because calcium doesn't absorb without vitamin D. It doesn't absorb properly without magnesium. So you need all of that. So it's all in there. It's very affordable, natural, and very bioavailable to the body. It's going to give you the dose that you need for your calcium. So definitely good. If osteoporosis runs in your family, dude, just start taking this now, right? Or if you know you have bone density issues, just start taking this now. But I definitely recommend it for women. You can get the whole women's health kit. It's the Phytoestrogen, Clary Calm, and Bone Nutrient Complex. And you can just search that in your back office, Women's Health Kit, and that'll really help you. So now that we talked about the women's health line that's kind of already designed for us and pretty awesome, I want to talk to you guys about some specific essential oils and why you'd use them and why you might put them in different places. So the inside of your ankle, I'm going to demonstrate with my leg for you. So inside of your ankle, right here behind the ankle bone, can you see that right there? That is where you're going to put essential oils to affect your your uterus. Inside your ankles is your uterus. And then outside of your ankle, so right here, is where you're going to put essential oils to affect your ovaries. Over your lower abdomen is going to affect your uterus. Over your kidneys, so let me show you what that looks like. So if you look at my back, like here's my hips, here's my wrist. Your kidneys sit right here. So you roll right here. That's where your adrenals reside. So when you're using something for adrenal fatigue, that's where you're going to put it. Inside of your wrist, back of your neck is good for stress, anxious feelings, over your heart. So those are just some good places to put essential oils. Like I said, guys, let me know if you have any questions. And then I'm going to talk about specific oils and how they work for hormones. So lavender is a great one for supporting your hormone levels because it helps reduce stress. So if you are understanding what I'm saying when I'm talking about like the adrenals being going all the time. So adrenals fire when you're in fight or flight, when you're in stress. And then that releases cortisol, which causes that fight or flight response, which then can, if it happens over a long time, your adrenals can fatigue out and they can stop working properly. And that's where you run into really big problems and you get what you might have heard it called adrenal fatigue. So we don't want adrenal fatigue happening in our systems. So if we're feeling like we're in a high level of stress, we just need to have lavender in our pockets at all times. Just keep it on you. So lavender is super good for calming your system, relaxing your body. So you can use that to inside your wrist, over your heart, back of your neck to just support hormone levels and decrease stress. Then you have bergamot. Bergamot helps with self-love and self-acceptance. So citrus oils are great for that, right? But specifically bergamot is so good for that. I'm sorry, my lighting's kind of off in here, sorry. But yeah, bergamot is so good for that self-love, self-acceptance. So if you're feeling like you're hating yourself for your weight or whatever's going on in your life, like you're just feeling down in the dumps, get your bergamot and start using that regularly. Put it in your teas, put it on. Remember, bergamot makes you sensitive to the sun though, so just don't put it like on your forehead and then go out in the sun and call me because you got a burn. So put it somewhere where the sun's not gonna hit. So those are two good ones for kind of lowering stress and things. Then we have neroli. Neroli Touch is incredible. It's an oil of self-love and it helps specifically with postpartum depression, PMS, menopause, and perimenopause. So good for anxiety. So you're gonna grab your neroli roller and you're gonna roll it on the whole outside of your arm. So this is a energy meridian in acupuncture, and I can't remember the name of it, but you go from the wrist up here. You can do that. You can do the inside of your forearm, inside your wrist, inside your elbows, over your heart. All of those are going to be good for postpartum depression, anxiety, depression. And then over your uterus or really anywhere for PMS, and then menopause, perimenopause, wherever works for you, back of your neck, over your uterus, inside your ankles. So those would be good ones for you for that. And then rose helps overcome frigidity and infertility, and it promotes healthy menstruation. So if you're struggling or you know somebody struggling with fertility, you can use rose over the abdomen daily, like morning and night, to just help with menstruation, menstrual cycles, egg release, and conception. Clary sage is great for balancing estrogen and progesterone. It lowers stress levels and cortisol as well. So this is a great one to use over your adrenals, over your belly, over your uterus and things. Thyme also supports healthy progesterone levels and helps with fertility. So clary sage and thyme is actually a really good roller bottle to make. You can make for fertility. You can use that and do like 10, 15 drops each, 15 to 20 drops each in a roller, and then use that over the abdomen daily. Then you have grapefruit. Grapefruit's actually really good for breast health and helps support healthy progesterone levels in the body, and it's great for fertility. So somebody who's struggling with fertility can use grapefruit in their water and drink that daily. But you can also use it topically, like over your uterus, or just, wherever you want that smells good, you can diffuse it, but definitely in the water, super good for that. You have geranium, which is great for liver and skin health, but it also helps support hormones, emotional balance, and fertility. So you can add some geranium to that clary sage and thyme roller. Great for fertility, morning and night, inside of the ankles, over the uterus. Just once you conceive, you want to make sure you stop using clary sage. And then you have ylang ylang, which is a libido booster. Kidney support, heals trauma, helps you feel safe, helps with stress. Hi, I'm on Facebook Live, just so you know. So ylang ylang is super good for all, if you have any actual, so it heals trauma really well, but if you have any sexual trauma in your life, it's really great over your heart to help you heal with that. And good to diffuse or use topically just as a libido booster. Super good for that. And then Fennel supports healthy estrogen levels and supports healthy ovaries. So outside of your ankle is where your ovaries are. So if you're using it for ovary support, you're going to just do it on the outside of your ankle. And then I have a couple blends that I really like. I'll tell you them, but I'm going to upload. Lori's putting together this PDF for you that has all of these awesome recipes. So it'll be uploaded for you. We're going to upload this PDF, which is the Women's Health PDF. So this one has 3 different rollers. It has Energy Roller, which is Wild Orange and Peppermint, Liquid Calm, which is Balance and Serenity, Hot Flashes Be Gone. This is in a 5 ml roller, and it's 5 drops clary sage, 3 drops lavender, 2 drops frankincense, 2 drops peppermint, and you're going to fill that with coconut oil. Apply to the inside of the ankles and back of the neck as needed. So that's a really good one. Phytoestrogen works really good for hot flashes too, I've been told. And then another great roller is Hormone Synergy Blends. This is just going to kind of bring your hormones. If you're like, I feel like I have those hormone imbalance symptoms, but I don't know where to start with the Hormone Synergy Blend. It's a 5 ml roller, and it's 5 drops clary sage, 4 drops lavender, 4 drops geranium, 2 drops bergamot, 2 drops ylang ylang. Fill with coconut oil. Roll over your ankles, neck, and wrists 2 to 3 times a day. If you don't want to do clary sage, but you want some PMS support, you're going to grab a 5 ml roller, do 12 drops geranium, 6 drops ylang ylang, 4 drops clary sage, fill with coconut oil, and roll over your abdomen and the inside of your ankles. Hot flash become, I told you that one. And then if you feel like adrenal fatigue is where you're suffering, right now you're going to add basil to your water 2 times a day, 2 drops 2 times a day. And then you can also make a adrenal aid roller, which is 3 drops clove, 4 drops lemon, 3 drops frank, 7 drops rosemary, and a 5 ml. And you're going to put that over the top of your kidneys on your back like I showed you. So those are some of my favorites. Excuse me. So I will upload the PDF for you guys that has all that info in there. But let me open it up for you guys for questions and see if anybody has any questions for me. Christine says, interesting. I know someone who struggles to get pregnant. Yeah, so number one thing I recommend for pregnancy is the cleanse with grapefruit and phytoestrogen. And do that for a couple months and kind of really flush out the system. Christine says, what about for men, difficulty keeping it up? Well, this is a women's health lecture here, so to speak. So I would have to do some research on that. Not my expertise. Hi, Eva. I do have a blend that I found that was really helpful for my friend's husband. I just have to look it up. So I can get that to you, Christina. And then, yeah, I guess that would be a class on men's health. Yes, it would be. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? You're welcome, Christina or Christine. Anybody else have any questions? Anything I can help you with? Anything that wasn't clear? Anything you want to know more about? Like I said, I'm going to upload that PDF. Actually, Lori will probably upload it this week for you. It's got all those recipes, all that info, telling you what oils are good for what and how to kind of blend them together, where to put them. So it's all in there for you guys. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to go finish my dinner and make some fresh juice for tomorrow morning. And comment down here. Let me know your questions, and I'll come back and answer them. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.